What is up, my butter biscuits? Y'all, as you guys can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about makeup brands that were not talked about in 2021. Let me let you guys know right off the bat, this is literally just an opinion-based video. I obviously don't have any factual proof about any of these brands dwindling out or like losing their flame. However, this is just my opinion of brands that I feel like I didn't really hear of in 2021. And yes, there is some celebrity-related brands within today's video, and I feel like people are going to get crazy over my opinion, but I will obviously explain everything and my whole thoughts and opinions about why these brands weren't really talked about in 2021. I feel like obviously a little bit scared to talk about celebrity related brands because I know that there's a lot of stands when it comes to celebrities. And y'all, the whole REM beauty video that I did, the whole my thoughts and opinions video, literally just opened up my mind that I was just like, oh my gosh, people are so crazy when it comes to celebrities. I noticed that if I talk about any, like say for example MAC Cosmetics or Too Faced or Estee Lauder, it's totally fine. However, when it comes to a celebrities makeup brand, that's when things get really crazy. If I say anything in the slightest bit negative, people get crazy, y'all. And I want to just say before we even get into this video, whenever I'm talking about a makeup brand, I am separating the makeup brand or the whole makeup, the whole aesthetic, the whole collection, all the products from the artist. It has nothing to do with the artist. We're talking about the makeup. Let me just let you guys know that before we get into this, because I know people get crazy. But at the end of the day, you're fully entitled to your opinion. And I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this. I totally get it. But if you guys are interested in seeing what brands I think kind of lost their flame and kind of dwindled out within 2021, of course, go ahead and keep on watching. If y'all are new here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so that we'll get notified when I upload a new video, and make sure y'all give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all, I really went in detail with my notes on this video because I wanted to be very thorough and just talk about the brands like really in depth. So I do feel like this video is going to get really long. But the first brand that I actually want to go ahead and talk about, which I just want to go ahead and get this out there in the open right away, because I feel like people need to understand you can have a favorite celebrity and still not like the products that they're coming out with. I know obviously with a lot of people out there, they just really can't take any difference of opinion about their favorite celebrity, but at the end of the day, when a person is putting out a product, we're talking about the product, not the celebrity. You get what I'm saying? So the first brand that I'm going to be talking about is House Laboratories by Lady Gaga. And this one to me, y'all, I just want to say sucks because Lady Gaga was literally my idol growing up. However, when it came to her like makeup brand, there is literally not one single product that she has come out with that I have been enticed to like buy. And on top of that too, I don't feel like anybody talks about House Labs. I just feel like the brand is just so, I don't know. It's just not Lady Gaga. It doesn't speak Lady Gaga. I feel like all of the collections that she has came out with, all of the palettes and colors, it's just very blah. It's just very lackluster. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a rundown about the brand in case you guys did not know. Lady Gaga actually did a partnership with Amazon, and her brand actually started in 2019. I do apologize if I'm looking down at my phone a lot. However, my notes are there, and I do want to read some quotes. So this is actually how it started. So for the first initial launch, Gaga actually hosted a party called the House Party with 500 guests, y'all. During this time, by the way, I remember so many influencers were there, and I was like, oh my gosh, this brand is going to be so bomb. Like, it's Lady Gaga. Like, Lady Gaga is coming out with the makeup brand, and I was so excited for it. But then ever since then, I'm just like, nope, I literally don't think about it at all. And on top of that too, I don't feel like any influencers even think about it. I feel like it's just like, we all love Lady Gaga, but not her makeup brand. But anyways, moving on here. So during her speech, and she actually said this is why she came out with the brand, we're not just launching makeup. This is a glamour attack on the world to be accepting, humble, brave, and above all, empowered to be kind. No matter how you identify, you are all welcome at House Laboratories. So I feel like the brand actually has a beautiful message, and I think like what they stand for, obviously we all know that Lady Gaga is literally so inclusive and just really cares about everybody. So that's why I thought the brand was just going to be so bomb. But that's not the case, y'all. I want to go ahead and say, like, this one kind of tripped me out because it's Lady Gaga that we're talking about. And I do want to say, I know that this is a lot of money. However, according to Google, this is literally just from Google Wikipedia, the brand has grossed $140 million total. Not yearly, not annually, literally just total $140 million. Yes, that is a lot of money. I totally do understand that, and I get it. However, just when we're talking about Lady Gaga and considering what a massive celebrity she is, I kind of thought that it would be way more than that. But y'all, this is just something that I want to go ahead and talk about right here. This is her new collection called Casa Gaga La Colazione. My Italian's bad, you know, but I try. This collection, once again, I just feel like is so lackluster. Like everything that she came out with, her initial palette, y'all, her initial palette to me was like the biggest letdown on the face of the planet. Like just looking at this color story right here, it's just so dry, it's so dull, it's so boring. Like y'all, picture Lady Gaga on like all these VMAs and Grammys, like she is just over the top, and then she comes out with this makeup brand that is just so let me just keep it real, mediocre. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not Lady Gaga. Like, we know her to be over the top, and everything that she comes out with is just not her. It doesn't seem like her vibe, you get me? And on top of that, I want to go ahead and say, since the brand had initially launched, I don't feel like anybody talks about the brand, period. Not even just within 2021, obviously, especially within 2021, but I just feel like nobody even talks about the brand at all. Another thing that I want to go ahead and say, yes, $140 million is really good considering the brand has been out for 3 years. I totally get that. If that is even accurate, let's go ahead and keep that in there. But I want to go ahead and say that the brand's Instagram account hasn't even made it to 1 million followers. As of right now, it's at 849,000 followers. I know to a lot of people out there that obviously doesn't mean anything. However, that just shows that the brand really isn't that popular, because look at Lady Gaga's account. She has 50.8 million followers, and the fact that her like Instagram account for her cosmetic line can't even get to 1 million in 3 years is kind of crazy, because I want to say Ariana Grande's like Rem Beauty got to 1 million followers within like what, 1 week. You know what I'm saying? Obviously I know Ariana Grande has like 200 million followers on Instagram, but Lady Gaga is really up there, and the fact that it still hasn't got to 1 million, that just shows me that the brand really isn't popping all that much. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say, like, this one to me just really shows you, if you guys knew me at all, Lady Gaga was literally my idol, but I still feel the way I feel about this brand, and I just don't like it. Like, honestly, I really want to support her and I would love to purchase something from her, but until she comes out with something exciting, then I'm just not going to be for it, y'all. And like, even with this new collection right here, I saw people online talking about like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. I just have to disagree. Like, looking at this new collection, to me, I'm just like, I don't know, it just looks like, I don't know, it looks like Estee Lauder makeup. It doesn't look like Lady Gaga, you know? And I understand that this collection probably came out because of the House of Gucci, and it probably had that whole like vibe in mind of being, you know, like Italian glam, but I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me. Everything of hers is just so boring to me. And honestly, y'all, correct me if I'm wrong, but all of the beauty influencers that I watch really do not talk about House Labs at all. So I can't be the only one on this boat. But yeah, House Labs, I just feel like is, I don't know. I feel like, y'all, I don't feel like it really ever was popping to begin with, so it's hard for me to say I feel like it's dwindling out, but I just really feel like it hasn't really been all that ever since it came out. Next up on the list, we have Dragon Beauty, and this brand right here, I honestly thought that it would be like way more popular than it is, because Nikita Dragon has such a big online presence. On top of that too, she knows and is friends with so many influencers out there that I thought that her brand would be way bigger than it is, considering her amount of friends that are really big on social media. However, not very many people talk about the brand. But just to give you guys a little bit of a rundown on the brand, it was actually started in 2019 as well, by Nikita Dragon, and this is what she had to say when she first initially launched her line. So she said, "I've always been obsessed with the art of transformation. As an artist, I was more obsessed with how makeup could change your face and that you could be the architect of your own beauty. Transitioning, it was the biggest thing for me to hide male features and make them more feminine and be able to play with my face to be more passable to people." So I feel like her reasoning for starting a brand, honestly, I feel like is very beautiful, and I feel like can relate to a lot of trans people out there. And that's why I thought that she was going to be coming out with some like amazing products and things were going to be like really, really on and popping and over the top. However, a lot of the things that she comes out with have been so lackluster, and I feel like the brand really has not been talked about at all. The last thing that I remember from the brand, honestly, was that they had floating particles inside of the setting spray, and that was pretty much it. I will say though, I have heard great things about the setting powder, but that was only at the initial launch, and ever since the initial launch, I haven't heard about anybody talking about them at all. And once again, keep in mind, like I'm gonna keep on saying, I feel like with Nikita Dragon, she has so many like really big, let's just go ahead and say like celebrity friends and really big influencer friends, and nobody is hyping up the brand at all. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I wanted to go to talk about too, specifically about Dragon Beauty, is she really got ridiculed in the beginning of her brand because she did a pop-up shop at the Beverly Hills Center in Los Angeles. And y'all, I felt bad for her for this one because everyone was clowning on her, saying like, oh my gosh, nobody showed up to your pop-up shop, nobody showed up for your meet and greet, because everyone was saying there was literally 10 people there. This to me, I was just like, oh my gosh, y'all. Like, I don't know, it kind of trips me out because I feel like no matter what, at least she still did have some support there, but I did think that the brand was going to be bigger than what it really is. But anyways, moving forward here, I want to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of my thoughts and opinions about the brand and why I just feel like nobody really talks about it, is because, say for example, this egg-shaped palette right here, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I just really do not like this palette at all. It was actually on one of my anti-hauls before, but look at these swatches right here, and this is specifically why I don't like it. A palette like this, I feel like is really not going to be ideal for a lot of people out there because you can't create very many looks. Like with this whole black and white and pink, it's just very hard to create a look like that, and I feel like the look that you create is going to be like one look. You're not going to be able to bust out like 15 different looks with this one palette. So I feel like obviously a lot of people aren't going to be attracted to it and drawn to it because there's not much that you can do with it. Another thing that I want to talk about is obviously the whole floating particle things. I feel like that obviously put a bad name on the brand because people were like, what? Like Manny MUA did a video about it. I believe Cole's World did a video about it. They were like, what is going on with this setting spray? Like it has floating particles in there. And to my knowledge, to my understanding, she never came out and said like what it was. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like she wasn't like backing up the brand. You know what I mean? Honestly, y'all, overall, I really did think that Dragon Beauty was going to be bigger. However, specifically in 2021, I feel like nobody is talking about it. But even on top of that, before that, I feel like it was just kind of already lackluster to begin with. I would like to see her come out with like better things, you know what I'm saying? Especially because I genuinely feel like the whole reasoning of her creating her brand is beautiful and can relate to so many people out there. However, the products aren't there to back up that meaning, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, to me overall, the Dragon Beauty brand is just Next up on the list, we have Jlo Beauty, y'all. This one I actually recently talked about within a video, and I'm like, who even talks about Jlo Beauty? Like, honestly, she just launched in January of 2021, and I feel like everyone's like, oh my gosh, Jlo Beauty because of that Jlo glow. But no one talks about the brand ever since then. I don't hear anybody saying like, this is my favorite product. I don't hear anybody saying like, oh my gosh, I love this or that from Jlo Beauty. The brand literally hasn't came out with anything since that initial launch, which was almost a year ago at this point. And on top of that too, I do understand that it does take a long time to come out with new products, but it's Jlo we're talking about. Like she has the resources to have things lined up to like have a launch in like, you know, winter and spring and summer and fall. And there's just nothing behind it. And I think that she was supposed to come out with makeup as well too. But just to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of the brand, like I said, it did launch in 2021 in January, y'all. And this to me, I was just like, okay, let me just keep it with you guys. Another celebrity brand. I feel like so many celebrities out there are like, you know what? I'm trying to be like Kylie Jenner and make $1 billion. And I feel like as soon as they're not getting there, then they're just like, like, you know what? Another brand that I should have put within this video is Lisa Rinna. You know, like Lisa Rinna came out with Rinna Beauty, and I'm like, okay, clearly she was hopping on the cash grab. You know what I'm saying? There's just so many celebrities coming for the cash grab. But let me go ahead and read a quote from Jlo about her brand. For years, the number one question I've been asked is about my skin. And so I felt almost an obligation to share what I've learned. It's taken 20 years to realize this dream because I knew that when we launched, it had to be amazing because it has my name on it. I've been involved in all aspects of development because Jlo Beauty has authentically mirrored my values and reflect who I am, what I believe in, and how I live my life. Also, another thing that I do want to mention is she actually got like kind of like ridiculed online because she was kind of like making a little bit of a jab like, I don't do Botox, but oh, it's okay if anybody who does do Botox. So everyone was like bringing up these pictures of her and like, okay, yeah, girl, sure you don't. Which I want to say, okay, like, let's keep it real. If you were so big on this skincare, why are you barely coming out with something in 2021? Jlo has been a massive celebrity since what, like the early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? Probably late 90s. So why is she barely coming out with something now? I don't really get it, to be honest with you. I'm getting the cash grab vibes. That's just my personal opinion, you know. This actually was really a highly anticipated brand. If you guys remember online, it was literally like making headways everywhere. Everybody was talking about it because for years now, everyone has been like, the Jlo glow. Even when I was working at MAC, this is something that literally everybody would tell me, I want that Jlo glow. Like everybody knows Jlo for her glowy skin, her glowy makeup. Like y'all, she just looks beautiful all the time. 24/7 her skin is just beautiful. Even when she's not wearing anything, she has beautiful skin. However, being that it was highly anticipated, I don't feel like the brand has really lived up to anything. I feel like it's just very lackluster, and honestly, y'all, the products are kind of expensive, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't feel like any influencers or anybody, especially on my live videos, I've asked about it before and nobody talks about it. Nobody really cares for it, you know? I wonder if the brand is going to be coming out with makeup products because they did initially say that there would be beauty products, not just skincare. However, I want to say I feel like this brand, especially just for launching in 2021, is not being talked about in 2021. Next up on the list, we have Lauren Conrad Beauty. This is another one to me, y'all. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm going to be like hated on for my thoughts and opinions about this brand. But this brand to me is just so... But let's go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a rundown on the brand, y'all, just in case you guys didn't know. It was launched by Kohl's and Lauren Conrad in October of 2020. There was one initial collection about it, which I don't know if you guys remember. This is pretty much the only traction that the brand got is because James Charles got on one of his Instagram stories. And y'all, he went off, like grabbing the products and literally like throwing it and stuff, because the actual components that he got were literally samples. Come to find out, Lauren Conrad actually sent that to him by accident. She had mixed up her testers and put it inside of his PR box, and he was going off about it, y'all. Because I really do feel like a lot of people in the beauty industry do view celebrities as kind of like people who are doing cash grabs. So I feel like that's why he did it. But y'all, a lot of people were calling him like a gatekeeper and stuff like that. But I do have to keep it real with you guys. When he was talking about that, I was like, y'all, like, let me just keep it real. Like, a lot of celebrities do cash grabs. Like, these people have been celebrities and famous for so long, but why all of a sudden are they barely coming out with brands? Now, I'm not trying to act like the gatekeeper myself either, but also we do have to keep in mind, why is it that ever since Kylie Jenner made headlines of like, oh, she's the beauty mogul and she's a billionaire from Kylie Cosmetics, why is it now that celebrities are barely coming out with these brands? You know, when somebody like Lauren Conrad, who was like famous in what, the 2000s, you know what I'm saying? She made a lot of money back then. She could have came out with a brand back then, but she didn't. It's just kind of like all of a sudden. So we do have to like keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of understood James Charles within that, you know, story. However, I do want to say the way he went about it like was very snooty and very just like, I don't know, he seemed like very uppity and like dismissive, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of felt bad for Lauren. However, at the same time, let's go ahead and talk about her brand. So like I said, it was launched in 2020, and let's keep it real. Who talks about Lauren Conrad beauty, y'all? So this is something that she said about creating her line. Beauty is something I've always had a passion for, and this launch was especially exciting for me as it's my first beauty collection. Born from my desire for clean beauty products with recyclable packaging that make you look great and feel confident, said Lauren Conrad. After working with a team of experts to produce a clean, vegan, and ethically sourced line, I'm so proud to share that Lauren Conrad Beauty will now be offered at Kohl's. To make this beauty line even more accessible and to empower more women to embrace their own beauty. Like I said, like obviously she starts off with like, you know, that she's been into beauty for X amount of years and whatnot. Like, it's like, okay, girl, like you've been into beauty for so long, but how come you didn't do anything before? I don't know. I just have to throw that in there, y'all. So this is the brand right here. And this is the initial launch. And like I said, I feel like I'm going to get hate for this, but whatever. It's just my opinion. I feel like this makeup literally looks like Avon makeup. I remember my mom, she used to sell Avon in like the 90s. And this is what I remember. Like, I just remember packaging like this. It's just so cheap looking and just so dull. And honestly, I don't know, I feel like it's just so blah, and I feel like that's why no one was really talking about the brand. I actually went to the brand's website, and you guys can see from right here, it says something lovely coming 2022. Those products are not even for sale online, and they initially were supposed to be online, but I think maybe they're kind of doing like a rebranding, because in my personal opinion, okay, this is just opinion, obviously I don't have any facts about this, but I think that Kohl's and her didn't get the initial like reaction that they wanted, because honestly, y'all, there's just literally so many makeup brands out there that you have to come out with something really bomb to like make headlines and to like get people talking about it, and I don't feel like Lauren Conrad Beauty is doing that. I feel like the brand is just blah, you know what I'm saying? I feel like even in 2020 no one talks about the brand, and definitely not within 2021 nobody's talking about the brand. This one on the list right here, this is the one specifically I feel like I'm gonna get so much hate for, but I want you guys to understand, before we even get into the whole rundown of the brand, I want to tell you guys right off the bat, this is why I feel like nobody talks about Florence by Mills in my personal world, around me, within my following, within like influencers that I watch online, is because I typically do watch everybody who is around my age. So we will get into the details of Florence by Mills. However, I want to say this is a brand, just kind of like how I had said before about Rare Beauty, like it's just not geared for me. I feel like this is made for obviously young teen girls, and that's not me, obviously. So I feel like this is a brand that I'm just like, you know what, I just really don't care for, and everybody that I watch on YouTube does not talk about this brand ever. So I want to go ahead and say, before we get into the rundown of Florence by Mills, that's my reasoning for why I'm putting this on this list, because I'm just like, you know what, everybody that I watch and everybody that I talk to, and even my following, like I said, they don't talk about this brand, because I feel like it's obviously geared towards like teen girls, you know. So anyways, just to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a rundown here in case you guys didn't know. So this was actually launched by Millie Bobby Brown in partnership with Beach House Group, which I did not know, in 2019, and it was founded on the belief true beauty comes from loving and embracing yourself. That is what Millie had to say about her brand. This is also another quote from the launch of her brand. I wanted to create something for me and my generation, my friends and peers. See, keep that in mind. She's obviously gearing it towards younger people, and that's why I say I don't feel like anybody I watch talks about this brand. A brand that could reflect us and our self-expression and still be good for you, simple to use and suited for changing transitional skin. Being young in general is so tough, so creating a place to support everyone on their beauty journey was important to me. So this is what I want to say, okay? I'm putting this video in here obviously for people that are around my age. I feel like nobody talks about this, because I do want to say, the brand actually gets a lot of traction on their posts, y'all. Like literally looking at the brand, they have millions of followers, 2.6 million followers on Instagram, and their posts get a lot of likes. So like looking at one of the posts right here, y'all, 55,000 likes, another one 42,000 likes. They're getting a lot of traction on their page. I just kind of feel like for people my age and people that I follow on social media are just, it's just not their vibe, y'all. Here's where I'm gonna get just like so much hate, but it is what it is, because I want to go ahead and talk about the products. They never had like appealed to me in the slightest bit. I remember obviously when the brand came out, a lot of big time influencers were doing reviews of the brand, obviously because it's a new brand on the market. But look at this palette right here, y'all. Like this to me, I'm just like, what? Like look at, like this is why I'm just like, no, it's just no. Like honestly, like even if it was obviously meant for like older people like myself, I just don't like this palette. I feel like it is so ugly. Like I'm really really sorry. Like I totally do understand that it's meant to be for people who are younger, but I picture even my younger cousins, like they wouldn't even like this either. Like it just, I don't know. And then look at this other palette right here. It's just blah. I don't know. To be honest with you guys, look, I understand that obviously the brand is not made for somebody like me. However, I just don't like it in general. Like that's just my opinion. I know, I understand that Millie Bobby Brown has a massive following on social media, so I'm probably gonna get so much hate for it. But at the end of the day, it's my opinion, and I just don't like it. And I feel like nobody talks about the brand, especially within my age, you know, my age group. And on top of that, too, within 2021, I don't feel like they've come out with really anything. Nobody's really talking about them. But yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions about Florence by Mills. Last up on the list is Jouer Cosmetics, y'all. This one, I don't know if you guys remembered, but I feel like it was really put on the map by like Jeffree Star and like the brand trip, y'all. We're gonna get into the brand trip, but let me go ahead and tell you guys about the brand in case you guys don't remember Jouer. This was actually launched in 2008 by Christina Zilber. I think that's how you pronounce her name. But let's go ahead and get into the discovery of her brand. So Christina Zilber discovered her love for beauty and style at an early age. Her mother, a former fashion model, taught Zilber that makeup should be classic and effortless, enhancing a woman's natural beauty and accepting what she loves about herself. Zilber has adopted this mantra as her own and shares it with Jouer. So in case you guys don't remember, like in 2017, I think this was around the time where the brand trips were on and popping. This is when Jouer was most likely like being talked about the most, because y'all, we're going to get into the traction of the brand right now. And I'm just like, y'all, this brand is really, really dying. So anyways, they did a lip topper collaboration in 2017 with Jeffree Star. And this is where the brand was actually like popping up on social media, but they were doing brand trips. So in 2018, they went on a brand trip where everybody was like low-key talking about this, because I guess a lot of drama happens on these trips. So in 2018, they went on a trip with like Manny MUA, Laura Lee, Jeffree Star, and so many other influencers. And I feel like this is when the brand was really being talked about, and it was really popular during this time. Fast forward to now in 2021, y'all, the brand actually has 1.1 million followers, and this is what I specifically wanted to talk about within today's video. The brand has 1.1 million followers, okay, you guys? Why does the brand only get 479 likes on posts? Why does it only get 456 likes on posts? Like, the brand is really, really dying. I honestly don't understand how you have 1.1 million followers but only get in the 400s and 500 likes. It just doesn't even make sense. Like, the fact that it doesn't even have like thousands of likes is just weird to me, you know? But I do want to go ahead and talk about like the palette specifically, because I've said it before, I've never actually tried a Jouer product. However, I've said it before, like their glosses look absolutely beautiful. They look stunning. And to be honest with you, if I saw them in person and I'm like, you know what, if I was shopping for a gloss, I would probably buy one of them because they do look beautiful. But look at these palettes, y'all. They're just so blah. They are so boring. So just, they look cheap. I don't know. Like the whole aesthetic of the brand is just boring to me. I feel like we have so many other brands like Jouer, and on top of that too, I feel like this brand has not been talked about in the longest time, and obviously we can tell by the traction on the Instagram that not very many people are talking about this brand. But overall, y'all, I feel like Jouer really was popping back in the day, but that was kind of like when they did the lip topper with Jeffree Star and they were doing the brand trips. Obviously nobody's doing brand trips anymore because of COVID and stuff like that. But yeah, y'all, this is my list for brands that I feel like are kind of like dying within 2021 or haven't really been talked about. Yes, I know. I'm just going to go ahead and clear this up yet again. I understand Florence by Mills is probably a very successful brand, but once again, for younger people my age, y'all, if you guys look back on when the brand actually launched, like I feel like Raw Beauty Christie was actually actually doing like a review of it. I feel like Manny MUA did a review of it. All these people around my age were doing reviews of it, and ever since then I don't feel like they've talked about it. So that's why I'm putting it within this list, and I just want to clear that up because I know people are going to be like, it's popping, they had so many people, look how many people are on there, look how many customers it has. Like, I totally get that. However, people within my group, you know what I'm saying, aren't really talking about it. Anyways, y'all, I could probably do a part 2 of this list, to be quite honest with you, because I was going through makeup brands and I was like, oh my gosh, there is a lot of brands that are kind of like dwindling out because the competition is getting so real. There's literally millions of brands out there, so I feel like it's obviously complicated for brands to thrive, you know, with all this competition out there. I could do a number 2 if you guys are interested in that. Let me know. Let me know which guys. Let me know which brands you guys think are kind of like dying out, because I feel like there is so many. I mean, like, look at Becca Cosmetics. I could have put that in here too, because they literally went out of business this year, which is like really sad because Becca has been around for so long. But anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.